Hello, everyone, and welcome to Chatting with Kora. I'm your host, Kora. Now, tonight, I would like to welcome an excitingly diverse, award-winning Canadian artist. She's a singer. She's a writer. She's an actress. She's a producer. She's a cabaret star, and she's a TV star. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sharron Matthews. Sharron, how are you doing? How goes the quarantine?
I'm okay. I tell people when they ask me how I am, I say I'm mostly okay. I think that's the best way to put it, because we're great for like 3 days, and then there's like one full day of existential dread where you're like, will I ever see my family again? Will I ever see humans again? And then I'm like, I hope my good food box gets here, and then it's all back to normal.
Totally. Well, where are you quarantining? Are you at home?
Well, I have a house in Stratford that I usually rent out to the Stratford Festival. So as you can imagine, that is back in my possession. But I have a little teeny apartment in Toronto at the corner of King and Sherbourne. And you know what? It's super cute, and I quite love it.
Now, I want to jump sort of to the beginning. Did you start off as a theater kid? How did you get involved in theater and performance?
I was in the high school show. I think my sister Gwen. Well, I know my sister Gwen, who at the age of 18 became a secretary at my high school and then was there for years. So she was there when I went to high school. If my sister's 15 years older than me. Okay, whatever the math is, fuck it. But so she was there when I was in high school, and I think she felt like I didn't have any direction. And so she was like, you should audition for this musical. I'd only done tap dance and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't know if I'm right for this. And she said, you should audition. And I got in it. And I just remember feeling for the first time in my life, something I've only felt a couple times, when you're like, oh, this is where I belong. Like, you felt heard, and everyone was other, and other was amazing, and other was celebrated. And no one in theater seemed to, well, in my theater group, seemed to be posing. They were just also thrilled to have found a group of people. And so I think I was 13, and then I just kept doing the musicals. But we had this really neat thing in Hamilton called New Faces. And I know, were you in it?
Yes. My God.
I was in the first year. That's how ancient I am.
Oh my God. Did you wear the butterfly shirts?
No, because when I did it, we were at Hamilton Place.
Oh, fancy.
And we did huge musicals. Like we did the first year we did The Sound of Music and Fiddler on the Roof and Godspell.
That's amazing. And then you went to theater school?
Then I went to Sheridan College for 3 years. I graduated when I was 20. And then when I was 21, I was in Les Mis.
That was like perfect timing too, because that's when Canadian theater was like the thing. Those big shows. And it was a time when they weren't importing shows.
It was an interesting time when musicals were more about singing, like Phantom, and like they had a singing chorus, and a dancing chorus. But Les Mis was like there was no dancing. It was
just sort of like walked around on a touring platform.
Yeah, on the Revolve. I guess the new version doesn't have a Revolve in it, and all the old school, all the OGs are like this. Well, that's not really Les
Mis. And then you did Showboat.
Yes, I did.
With Hal Prince.
When I was 23.
Okay, so what was he like?
He was literally the nicest man you'll ever meet. He was just, he was even. Like, he wasn't an ass. He never was mean. He got everything done simply by being kind and having done the homework. Hal was all about big pictures. Like, Hal was all about the big pictures, and he was about the very small scenes.
Well, and what's amazing is that you've managed to jump from, like, theater work to film work to TV work.
I have. Every time I have done that, though, I feel like I've had to make... It was like when you're in the chorus when you're younger and you realize that you have to stop to get bigger roles. You have to stop being in the chorus. You kind of have to take a jump and say, I may waiter this year, I may do whatever, but I'm only going to audition for, for leads, and hopefully I'll get them. But I feel like every time I made a change, I made a definite jump. The only time I didn't was when I got like Mean Girls and Hairspray and Music Man. those things just, I was working in theater and those things just kind of meshed in with the theater. But when I really did start to do things like Frankie uh, and Cabaret, like I left theater. I did one or two shows every couple years, but I made a definite, I'm not doing theater anymore. I really believe the universe only listens to you when you make a really strong choice with intent. And I did that. I was like, I'm going to just do Cabaret.
Well, and you didn't just do Cabaret. You were the Cabaret god.
Aw.
Like, no, like you in 2017, Girl Crush won Best Cabaret Performance for Broadway World. The next year, you had another show, and Unapologetically Me, Sharon's Cabaret for Kids, and you were nominated not one, not two, but 3 Dora Awards for Best Performance, Best New Play,
and Best Production.
And Best Production.
After working for literally 15 years trying to get the Canada Council and the Ontario Arts Council, the Toronto Arts Council to realize that it was a viable art form to be grant worthy, it was just, I remember, and again, it was at such a terrible week. I remember just going, oh, I guess I'm on the right track. But I'd already kind of phased out of Cabaret. And a week later, I got my first week at Just for Laughs. And 2 hours after that, I got Frankie Drake.
And now Frankie, this is what, 3 years strong?
3 years, our 3rd season. Yeah.
That's amazing. Now, I have to circle back a little. You were in Mean Girls.
I was.
Now, the question that everyone wants to know. What was Lindsay Lohan really like?
Well, you know what? She was 17. I'm not speaking out of school at all. I mean, it's ancient history now, but her mother sent her up with a guardian that was 18. Recipe for success right there.
Yeah.
So, she was like any kind of a kid. She was precocious, but that was all off screen. Like as soon as she got on screen, on set, like as soon as she was in front of the camera, she was a pro. But I remember being in the makeup trailer because they always get the same group of people made up at the same time. It was always me, Tina Fey, Amy Poehler if she was there, and Lindsay Lohan.
Oh my God.
And I would not.
I'm dying.
And I would, I have 2 good stories. Okay.
Remind
me about the lunch table. Okay, so I remember just sitting there, and my makeup person, I would never say a word, and then I'd only speak when spoken to, and the makeup lady would be like this. She'd say, "You're fucking smart," because they'd all be doing whatever. And I remember one weekend after Britney Spears had been on SNL.
Okay.
They came into the trailer. Tina came in and said, "Hey, Lindsay," and Tina really tried to lead her in a certain way. And 17-year-old Lindsay Lohan was like, "Oh, Britney Spears, who is she?" Blah, 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 blah. And Tina Fey just went, "You know what, Lindsay? She is a hardworking girl." And Lindsay Lohan just stopped talking. And Tina Fey went, "She's a really hardworking person." And she said, "You just got to be careful what you say, Lindsay, because you never know who's around." And I swear to God, Amy Poehler looked at me and said, "Yes, Sharon, we don't know her. She's Canadian. We don't know what she's saying outside the door. She may be telling the paparazzi." And I was like this. And I literally, the only thing I said was, "Don't throw me under the fucking bus. I just quietly listen to you bitches talk. Do not throw me under the bus." But so on the first day of shooting, we all hung around in our groups, which is hysterical. And I hung out with the nerd girls. I was the queen of the nerds. It was me, and Wide Vagina, and Jan Caruana, and I don't hate you because I like you. I hate you because you like me, or whatever the fuck it was. There were 5 of us that hung around, and so we were sitting at the lunch table, and Tina Fey walked in the room and she looks around at everybody, and she goes and she just walked down and sat at our table and said, "Hey, how you guys doing?" And I looked at them and I said, "Be cool. Be fucking cool. Because you're going to wreck this for all of us if you're not cool." And then Amy Poehler came and sat with us, and on a gas tire when she was there. And we'd all sit at the same table every day and eat lunch.
That's insane. I am...
It was so cool. It was so cool. Like, I remember there were little things like one day I was wearing these new, because that was the day I realized that I could get away with wearing sneakers if you couldn't see my feet. But I had these New Balance sneakers on, and we were doing the whole girl on girl, the whole girl on girl violence scene when we were standing in the, and I was holding the burn book. Who knew? The burn book and a baseball bat I was holding. And Tina, we had a thing between scenes, and Tina Fey looked down and she went, "Are those comfortable?" I was like, "Oh, my shoes?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Why in the bleep are you wearing those high heel shoes?" She said, "It never occurred to me that I couldn't." And I said, "Well, I'm not the director, obviously." And the next day she walked in and she had the exact same shoes as me.
Now, what are you doing now? I know you're super active on
Mhm.
your blog, and you've been
Yeah.
singing online, and
No.
you are constantly working on something.
Well, it's funny. I realized when I got in here for a couple weeks, and I was like, if I'm not creating something, I'm going to lose my shit in here.
Yeah.
And that's when I started writing on my blog again. I haven't done that for years. Singing has, and I bought this microphone from Amazon, and I love it. And I started singing, which was amazing. I'm also working on, I can't say, I love TV and stuff. You can't say, but I developed an animated show with 2 other people that got greenlit literally the day before it all went down. And I'm writing scripts for that, which is amazing, because now I'm screenwriting. And I also have a script that I'm working on for something else, for a bigger show that I can't say.
Okay. Sharron Matthews, here are your 11 questions. What's your favorite food?
Pad Thai.
What's your favorite movie?
Bull Durham.
What's your favorite musical group or person?
Someone I love right now is Ray LaMontagne.
What's your favorite podcast?
Is this a podcast?
Not really.
But
yes.
This one.
Yay. What is one of the best moments of your life?
I did a show with South Africa, and at the end, I was rolling around on the floor doing Bohemian Rhapsody, and I got a standing ovation. And I went to pick up my shoes, and the audience started to scream, "More! More!" And I remember I had my hands in the air with my shoes in either hand, and I went, "Suck this up, Matthews. This is literally the best moment of your life."
Now, what is one of the worst moments of your life?
I guess the day I found out that my marriage was over.
That's pretty bad.
It was pretty fucking terrible. Let me tell you what.
But look at you now.
I
God.
know.
Fuck that man.
Fuck that shit.
Now, when this quarantine is over, what's the first thing you're going to do?
I'm going to hug everyone I see. I'm going to hug strangers. I'm going to hug people who look like they're a bit stinky. I'm going to hug everyone.
Tell me one thing people don't know about you.
You know what? I'm a bit shy.
If we were to go on a date, what would we do? Where would you take me?
First of all, we go for a little drink at probably a dive bar. And then we go to the Cameron house and listen to some music for a certain, and then it would be during the summer. And so we'd take a long, beautiful, walk, down the Toronto, harborfront, and have a conversation. So it would be a musical talking date. That'd be the kind of date.
Have you ever dipped your toes in the lady pond?
I'm trying.
What is your favorite sexual position?
On top, of course.
Well, Sharron Matthews, it has been such a joy chatting with you today. I have learned more about you than I ever thought I could. And I love every minute of it.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It was a delight.
Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon. Love you.
Bye.